It is looking increasingly likely that Tottenham will make a move for RB Leipzig midfielder Marcel Sabitzer come the summer transfer window. Plus, we know the need of a centre-back in our squad desperately, but who are Tottenham looking at? What names are they mostly targeting for the upcoming transfer window? This is your Tottenham transfer talk, and let's get right into it. Welcome everyone to another transfer talk video on the new channel. Of course, as you guys know, if you haven't been aware, go and check out the video on my older channel, where you have all the details to why I have switched channels. Of course, welcome to Common You Spurs Daily. We're going to get straight into the news. Of course, transfer talk. Marcel Sabitzer, RB Leipzig midfielder, a player that has been linked with Tottenham for quite a long time now. Absolutely quality player, as we know, destroyed us in the Champions League last season, and there has been a lot of news regarding him over the last few days. We're going to go over the Ali Gold news that he has put out regarding our potential transfer for Marcel Sabitzer in the summer. So, of course, as we know, Sabitzer led Leipzig to victories against Tottenham in both legs of the Champions League last 16, scoring twice in the return leg back in Germany. That campaign saw the midfielder reach new levels in his ability to score goals as well as create them, with 16 goals and 11 assists as Leipzig reached the Champions League semi-finals and finished third in the Bundesliga. Tottenham have also been, it is understood, Tottenham have been long-term admirers of the player, and Football.London understands that along with pursuing a new centre-back, which we'll be getting into very, very soon, Sabitzer is one of the North London club's main targets this summer, but they are going to face a big fight for his services at a time when they are lacking power in their punch. Of course, it goes on to say that Austrian ticks plenty of boxes for Spurs and their transfer profile for incoming players that have hugely developed usually under a manager in Julian Nagelsmann, who also has his admirers at the North London club. So, look, some very, very interesting stuff there from Alistair Gold. Of course, we know pretty much the mouthpiece regarding Tottenham news and everything, always gets everything spot on. So, look, Marcel Sabitzer, I think we all know a lot about him, all the news, all the rumours coming out. He'd be an absolutely brilliant signing for us. Of course, the interesting thing regarding him is his contract does come to an end in 2022, so he is going into the last year of his contract come the summer. So that's the type of deal that Levy likes to do. Last year of contract, definitely the price is going to be cheaper. The price we're hearing around from various sources is looking around £30-odd million. So look, it will be a good deal for us if we can get this one done. However, as you saw there in the article, there is going to be competition for him, as we know how much of a quality player he is. As well, we know with the last year of the contract thing, we saw the exact same thing happen last year when we did complete the signing of Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, and we know how brilliant he's turned out to be. So it's a similar situation there. Of course, we know that. To make a lot of these deals happen in the summer, we will need to shift on some fringe players, which for me is vital come this summer. There's so many players that we really do need to shift out. The likes of Sissoko, Winks, these guys that are big poisons in our dressing room that are just have let the team down this season, that really, really need to go. So look, if we can get rid of these and bring in the likes of Sabitzer, of course, having Skip come back, it will definitely revolutionise our midfield, that's for sure. With a player like Sabitzer, can play a number of positions. He can play in the CDM role. He can play in centre mid. He can play in attacking mid. And he can even play on the right wing. So he's a very versatile player, a very useful player to have in your squad. He'd definitely be a massive upgrade on the likes of Winks and Sissoko, who need to get out of this club as soon as possible. That's all I really need to say about them. But look, Sabitzer would be a massive upgrade. As we know, he'd be a massive addition to our squad, adds that depth in midfield and quality as well, and aggression, which is a type of player that Jose Mourinho does like. Whether he'll be here next season is another thing. But as we're hearing at the moment, the way we're planning it is with Mourinho currently the manager at the moment. So we'll have to wait and see where that does go at the end of the season. So would you guys take Marcel Sabitzer at Tottenham? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Of course, as I said, would be an absolutely quality signing, and it is looking more and more likely as we go along. Ali Gold, of course, as I said, coming out with the news now, which is what you love to see there, confirming the interest, saying that he does understand that a move will be made for him come the summer. So look, hopefully we can get this deal done, and it's not another one of them where we miss it and it's like sort of a missed opportunity. How many of them are we going to have with this board? But look, the fact that he's going for a lot cheaper than what he's worth due to the contract situation, I think it's definitely a deal where if we can nip in early, pay the money, I think we can get this deal done. That's for sure. So look, would be an absolutely fantastic signing, which does now bring us on to the next piece of news. Now, of course, we know our desperate need for a centre back. We know our horrendous defensive, some of our horrendous defensive displays this season. Having said that, we still do have the third best defence in the league, miraculously. I'll never know how, but look, we know the desperation we are for a centre-back. We desperately need one come the summer. And we do have some very good news regarding the situation from Alistair Gold. He says Tottenham Hotspur are looking to sign a new defensive leader for their back four as a priority this summer. Football at London understands. While Spurs have got the joint third highest defence in the Premier League under Jose Mourinho this season, there has been a clear lack of cohesion at times in the back line and leadership, which is of course very, very true. It goes on to say Tottenham have led in 20 of their 29 Premier League matches this season, but have only gone on to win 14 of them, dropping 13 points. And yeah, that quite frankly is a massive concern there. Of course, it goes on to say Eric Dyer, another player who needs to go, who needs to be upgraded, who needs to be sold to also raise the funds for potential signings. It says Eric Dyer is one of the most vocal centre backs at the club, but the 27-year-old has struggled for consistency this season and has found himself drifting out of Jose Mourinho's starting 11 in the Premier League in recent weeks. So look, I think it's pretty clear that we really need a centre back, and I've been saying that all season, really, for even last summer as well. I was saying how much we need a centre back. Of course, as well, Juan Foyth, another centre-back who is out on loan at Villarreal, with them having the option to buy him for 13 million, which looks like they will be paying that as he is starting regularly for Unai Emery's side this season. So it will be some much-needed funds there if they do pay that option that can go towards some more of our potential signings. And some of the options that Tottenham are looking at, it goes on to say here, Joachim Andersen of Fulham, who I've been extremely impressed with this season for Fulham and their much improved side under Scott Parker, of course. It says here is one player that Tottenham have looked at a number of times in the past, and the Dane, who turns 25 in May, has impressed while on loan in the Premier League with Fulham. Of course, he is on loan from Olympique Lyonnais in France. Who they did recently sign from Sampdoria, I believe, over there in Italy. So look, he's done brilliantly for Fulham, and he has held the captain's armband as well. Which says a lot about him. The fact that he's not going to be there after this season shows how much trust and faith they have in him. The fact that they're making him captain. So stuff there, some really encouraging signs for this player here. It says not only does the Denmark international has been ever present in Scott Parker's side since recovering from ruptured ankle ligaments in the summer, but he has also worn the captain's armband in more than half of his Premier League appearances for Fulham, despite it being his debut season in the capital. So yeah, there you go. Anderson is one of a number of centre-backs Tottenham are considering making a move for this summer, and they have certainly had experience of dealing with the defender's parent club Lyon and their fierce negotiator / owner Jean-Michel Aulas. So yeah, he's definitely one that we know a lot about there, but that's the whole story for another video there, because we know the tough negotiations we had with Ndombele and Lloris, of course, there. It says here, Anderson will not come cheap, though, with 3 years left on his contract and having caught the eye in the Premier League. Just to confirm as well, Fulham do not have an option to buy in their loan deal for the player this season, but would be expected to rival Spurs for the signature should they remain in the Premier League. So that is one of many targets we're looking at. Joachim Andersen, look, I've been so impressed with him this season, especially in that game against Liverpool at Anfield, Fulham winning 1-0. I think that was the game that really stood out for his season, really, so far from everything I've seen of him. And I've been so impressed with him. His passing range as well is very, very good. Similar to Toby, he does remind me a lot of Toby, and he could well be that successor we do look to bring in. As we know, Toby Alderweireld is aging, as we know, 32 years old. So he'd definitely be a similar sort of deal from what we did back when we signed Toby from Atletico Madrid. He had that sort of season on loan with Southampton, then got his big move to Spurs. So we could this deal does remind you of that deal that we did all those years ago for Toby. So look, Anderson, it's definitely one to keep an eye on. I'd definitely love this signing. Look, I know I think we really do need sort of a world-class, top-quality centre-back, someone like a Skriniar, as we know, but the way things are looking, it is quite unlikely that we will get a deal done for a player of that calibre. But if you're looking at sort of the next tier down, there's definitely great options there, and Anderson is definitely one of them. I'll definitely have him at Spurs, and I've been so impressed with him, as I said. So would you guys take Joachim Anderson at Spurs? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, because I think he'd be a good signing for us there. I'm all for it if we do get that deal done. Another player with leadership capabilities who has admirers within the Tottenham is Brighton captain Lewis Dunk. So that's another option that Tottenham look like they are considering, which is quite an interesting one there. It says Dunk does not fit the usual age profile for Spurs signings, but has been one of the most consistent performers in the Premier League in recent season, and is linked with every summer with the top flight's biggest clubs. The Brighton-born defender with one England cap to his name turns 30 later this year, but he does tick another box for Tottenham, is in that he is homegrown. He is a homegrown player when North London club needs to increase the number of those in their squad. The biggest obstacle with Dunk, other than his age, for a club that buys young, is that he signed a new 5-year deal at Brighton last summer, and that would, of course, be reflected in a high price tag. So yeah, look, Lewis Dunk is an interesting one. He's a decent centre back. I definitely think he's better than Eric Dyer, that's for sure, because I don't think it's hard for anyone to be better than him. But look, Dunk, I'm not too sure regarding Dunk. I don't think he'd be the one. No, I don't think he'd be my first choice there, because, as we know, his age. He is a good defender, Dunk. I do think he is a good defender. However, I just don't think he's the type that we need. He's not, as I said, his age. He's just not really the level I think we need. I think personally, he's the other options that we're looking at are probably better options in the sense that they're younger. And I think the likes of Anderson, as we just talked about, I think he probably is overall a better player than Dunk from what I've seen regarding both of them. But look, as I said, Dunk, he's a good centre-back. However, it's just not a deal that I can see us doing. As I said, turning 30 years old very soon. I'd be surprised if Dunk is the one that we go for immediately in the summer, rather than being sort of like an alternative option. So look, what do you guys make of Lewis Dunk? Would you have him at Tottenham? As I said, Brighton captain's Premier League experience, so he does tick a couple of boxes. However, I think there are better options for us to look at come the summer. So what would you guys do? Would you have Lewis Dunk? Let me know in the comments. Which does now bring us on to on another centre-back target that Tottenham are looking at. It says another player on Tottenham's radar this summer is Fiorentina centre-back Nikola Milenkovic. The Serbia international has plenty of experience despite being 23 years old, with 28 caps to his name for his country, and is a near ever-present for his club in Serie A. He has also worn the captain's armband on a number of occasions in the Coppa Italia this season, as his leadership qualities continue to grow. Another attractive element for Spurs is that Milenkovic's contract will have just 12 months left to run after this season ends, and that could give them plenty of wiggle room on his price if competition does not keep it high. So look, Milenkovic is a player who Marcelo, as you may know, who appears on my channel, David's channel, Matt's channel, a lot of the times, you will know that he is a massive fan of Milenkovic. And since he sort of told me a bit about him, I've started watching a few of his games to keep an eye on him, as the rumours did start circulating regarding Milenkovic. And I've been very impressed with him. He definitely, 23 years old, as I said, he's a big lad. He has a very, very good aerial duels percentage. He wins about 70% of his aerial duels, which is absolutely fantastic. I think the average player would win probably about 50, but Milenkovic is topping that by 20%, which is pretty outstanding, really. And of course, he is quite a versatile player as well. He can also do a job at right back as well, so it's always good to have someone with versatility in your squad. But look, Milenkovic, as I said, he's Serbian international. He's a Fiorentina and won the captain armband a couple of times. He's definitely someone who I'd really like us to go and pursue. I think he'd be a good addition to our squad. as we've heard as well from reports from Italy, the price tag is looking around £22 million, which could be a release clause. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I did hear from a few random snippets that there could be a release clause in his contract there for £22 million, or that could be the price tag that he is going for. As I said as well, final year of his contract coming up, which is always something classic Daniel Levy he loves to do. So that will definitely help us in any potential negotiations for Milenkovic. I've heard a few people saying he reminds them of Vidic as well. Vidic, of course, a fantastic centre back for Manchester United back in the day, and there has been rumours linking Milenkovic with Man United as well. So I guess that explains that. So look, definitely. Definitely someone I'd like us to see us go for, Milenkovic. I think I'd like to see him alongside someone. I think we need two centre backs come the summer. But look, would you guys take Nikola Milenkovic at Tottenham? I think he'd be a great signing. If you want to know more about him, go over and ask Marcelo on Twitter at Tangangster25. So yeah, if you want to know more about him, go and speak to him, because he'll tell you a lot about Nikola Milenkovic, and he certainly got me into thinking that he will be a great signing for the club if we go for him. So yeah, Nikola Milenkovic. Would you guys take him? Let us know in the comments down below. Which does now bring us on to the next piece of the article, and it's an interesting one as well, because there's, of course, been links regarding Sven Botman of Lille, of course, a player that did come through the ranks at Ajax, and Yannick Vestergaard of Southampton, who is a player who turns 29 come the summer. And the interesting thing here, it says links with Lille's 21-year-old Sven Botman and Southampton's Yannick Vestergaard are believed to be wide off the mark at this stage. However, Tottenham will be testing the water for a number of centre-backs this summer. So that's an interesting one. We were seeing a lot of rumours regarding Sven Botman and Yannick Vestergaard as well. However, Ali Gold, he's come out and said they are believed to be well off the mark. So it's an interesting one there regarding them. But look, it'll be interesting to see, because there's a lot of centre-backs out there, and we know we desperately need a centre-back come this summer. So yeah, look, guys, let me know in the comments, which centre-back would you like to see at Tottenham? Would you guys as well pursue a deal for Marcel Sabitzer? I know I certainly would. But look, before we do end off the stream, I'm just going to run through the stuff we did go over today. Of course, we're going to, with Marcel Sabitzer, of course, Tottenham have been long-term admirers of the player, and Football.London does understand that Sabitzer is one of the club's main targets come the summer transfer window. In terms of the centre-back situation, Tottenham are believed to be looking at Nikola Milenkovic, Joachim Andersen, and Brighton's Lewis Dunk come the summer as potential centre-back options for the club. So look, that is your episode of Transfer Talk. We're going to be doing an episode of Paper Talk as well, which is a new series I'm going to be doing, where we go over all the headlines from the paper, all the gossip from sort of the less sort of reliable sources, just to get it out there to see what you guys think of that, see if it goes well, that series. So that will be coming very, very soon. So yeah, look, that is the episode of Transfer Talk. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching.